Bueno, nos encontramos aquí en la ciudad de Al-Quds, o más conocida como Jerusalén, más específicamente en el Monte de los Olivos. Estamos con Mohammad, un palestino que nos va a contar acerca de la situación que se vive aquí en la Palestina ocupada. Hi Mohammad, how are you?
Fine, hi.
We would like to tell us how is the Palestinian living here under occupation, and how is the situation with the occupation from Israel?
Yeah, sure. First of all, my name is Mohammed Sinjalawi. I'm a Palestinian who live in Jerusalem, in the old city actually. So let's talk like in general. As a Palestinians, as you can see here from the Mount of Olive, you can see the old city surrounded with settlements all over around, like especially in Silwan, downstairs at the south side. So you can see many houses were raised an Israeli flag on it. They took the settlers, these houses, and they mostly took the lands in the south side because they believe that instead of the Dome of the Rock and Al-Aqsa Mosque, we called it Al-Aqsa Mosque, the whole site 144 acres, it should be a temple mount, not a mosque, as you can see, as they believe. So those Israeli, especially these governments and the others who come in the past, they pushing us by raising their taxes and utilities, and there's no any support from the governments for the Palestinians who live inside Jerusalem. So they do a lot of punishments by letting them leave these houses, as I said, by making horrible and their lives tough, because we don't have any rights as the Palestinians inside Jerusalem area, as they believe that we should be outside Palestine, especially Jerusalem.
And how do they took the land and the houses? They have different methods?
They do have many different methods. They doing fake papers that these lands belong to them, and they bought it long time ago, and also especially the houses, as I said, pushing those peoples to leave. And since Nakba, when they were entering Jerusalem, and in 1967, the most of the Palestinians flew because of the horrible of this war and this invasion for the city. So when they run out and they want to come back after that, they found those houses were taken by those settlers and Israeli.
When you arrive here to Jerusalem, the tourism explain that there is the west side and the east side, but they don't explain very much about that the east side, the Palestinian side, is occupied. And what do you think about the other side, the western side also?
Yeah, the east side, which is this side, Jerusalem. The west side, let's say like West Bank. We as a Palestinians live in Jerusalem. They gave us a blue ID that we can travel here and West Bank with regulations. But the Palestinians who live in West Bank, they cannot come here only by permission. They have the green ID, and it's hard to give them permission by those government, especially the one who needs to medical situation they give, but it's by give them hard times. So the most of people who live in West Bank, they are suffering because of the wall that separate east side by the west side. Some of those families, they have relatives in east side, some west side, so it's hard to see each other because of the wall.
Okay, and what about for the people that want to go to Al-Aqsa Mosque, for example?
The people from West Bank, you mean? Yeah, those people from the West Bank, they let some of them enter, but only the old people. And in the holidays, like let's say the Islamic holidays, Eid al-Fitr, Eid al-Adha. So other days, there's not allowed to enter who has the blue ID, because regulations, and they want those Palestinians to forget that there's a mosque here.
And how does it work, the permit, especially for the people that lives in the West Bank? Who can enter and who cannot enter?
The one who can, let's say some families, they said that Israel that they have a bad record, and for them, like some brothers of them and some family relatives were put in jail, so they punish the whole family that they cannot go and they have a permission to enter Jerusalem, only to stay in West Bank. So for them, it's hard to believe that as the Palestinians who originally live here by generation, and they are suffering because they are not see even their mosque and the pray, which is one of the main rights that any human must like pray and worship, especially one of the most three holiest sites in the world for Islam.
And what about for the Palestinians that live in Jerusalem? How is the everyday life, especially for the young people, the education, the health?
We are facing, especially this year, a hard situation in an educational side, because the Israeli, they are fighting to change those Palestinians' studies and educational book, because they have in those books facts about this land, and they want those kids to forget that this land belonged to the Palestinians and to Arabs. Only they want to change the subjects of those books, and to let those kids and the new generation believe that this land doesn't belong to them, and they are not the original people who used to live here. So, also from the other side, about the Palestinians who live in the Jerusalem area, they are making a punishment by let them do 3 works, so they are not feel comfortable. Why? Because the Palestinians who have the Jerusalem ID, they don't have the rights as the Israeli who has the blue ID, because those Israeli, the government support them. They give them free houses, free jobs, a huge income. Not like the Palestinians. The Palestinians, they suffering through the taxes, through high utilities, punishments. They used to treat us like an animals. That's it. So as a Palestinians, we have a faith that this country belonged to us originally from the past until today, and we have the rights to live here, and we want to send and spread the whole story of this area and this conflict to the worldwide. So, yeah.
So what can you say finally for the people from Argentina and different parts of the world that are watching this?
I want to tell them that as a people who live outside, we want you guys to hear the story and the real fact from the Palestinians who live inside Jerusalem, and to support us as much as you can, and to believe that this country doesn't belong to them, this country belongs to us. As an Argentinian people, imagine that settlers come and knock your doors and make a war. They telling you to leave your houses. Are you going to leave those houses that belong to you and to your families? For sure not. This is what's happening here. They keep pushing us outside, and they are taking our homes and lands. And this only the occupied country until now. No any other country were occupied, except only this country. So as the Palestinians, we want to spread the whole view and the whole story of what's happening here to the worldwide.
Thank you very much, Mohammed.
You're very welcome.